This is going to sound like so much hate, and I swear it's not. Welcome back to the Warner Brothas Podcast. I'm Kyle, joined today by my brother Keenan, joined by Tim and Branndon. Fearsome foursome. It's football time. What's poppin', fellas?
Packers fun win. Shout out to Austin. Austin said it was a great environment, one of the best football environments he went to for the games. He's been to a few football games, but I'm good. Otherwise, fun that football's here. Excited for the weekend. Got a lot of good college football and NFL.
Same. Funny to see Tucker Kraft being like the best tight end in the league last night.
I love it. He's on he's in my tight end in one of my leagues, only 26.5 or something like that. I was like, okay, Tucker Kraft. You do you. You do you.
Yeah, hell of a game by him last night. Like, honestly, the only receiving option they've featured. Yeah. They should obviously do it a lot more. Like, I understand Jaden Reed got hurt.
But with Reed out, that's going to clear it up a little bit better for him.
Yeah, for 100%. I'm excited. The Packers look like they could easily be the cream of the crop in the NFC.
They might just go 20-0.
They just took two teams that were in the divisional round, one team that got to the NFC Championship game. Obviously, there was changes over the offseason, but they handled them both comfortably. Like, yeah, we're just gonna. This is easy. This light work.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. I understand both of them were at home, but still.
They played them like they were the Bears.
Yeah, no, truly. It was like they looked comfortable against both teams. And this is with a Micah Parsons that's not 100% yet. And Micah Parsons, because he's not like in full shape yet, but he's still wrecking the line of scrimmage. Like he is just taking over. And man, he's just not good against the run. But teams haven't ran for a combined 100 yards yet in 2 games. So it's going to affect their run defense. So. Which was a huge thing after he got traded. It was like, man, the Packers can't stop the run now because they got Micah. So what's going to happen? I know it'll be okay. But otherwise, I'm good.
All right. Let's get to these game picks. Keenan, you weren't here for our week 1 picks, but we all decided we're going to throw 25 into a pool, 25 apiece.
Yep.
And then I'm thinking, I don't know. You guys tell me how you feel about this. Last place throws in 50 at the end. Sweeten the pot.
50 more or 50 total?
So all right, say I get last place. We all pay 25 at the beginning. If I get last place, I throw in 50 after week 18.
All right, so 50 more.
50 more.
I'm cool
that's
with
fine
that.
with me.
Fine with me.
Well, after week 1, Kyle, you might be throwing in the 50.
What I go? I went 500, under 500, I think. It might just be me.
You went 7-9.
Oh, man, that's ugly. That's ugly.
Branndon and Timmy both went 13-3. I went 12-4. Kyle, you went 7-9 because you were zagging when everybody was zigging. And it just didn't work out for you. Unfortunately, you went the Giants, you went Carolina. Miami, Atlanta, Detroit, Houston. It just wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, hey, shit,
just wasn't working.
Hey, I'll say this in particular: Houston. Who would have been? Houston, Atlanta, and Ravens. They just sold me out. Like those were 3.
Yeah, they were close.
Texans were driving to win, fumble. Atlanta did Atlanta things, and then the Ravens, that was just as fluky as a loss as you can get. Things. We got to by the way, we didn't even talk about Ravens Bills in the aftermath. So we'll talk about that though when we get to one of those teams, whoever comes up first. But we got to.
Well, right now we can talk about it right now because the first game is Cleveland going to see the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 11.5. So, and Kyle, we can kind of talk about it a little bit here. Yeah, no, that was an all-timer to start off a season, 40-41. Josh Allen this isn't hyperbolic either, one of the best fourth quarters of all time. I mean, if you throw for 250 yards and have 3 total touchdowns in a quarter, like that's an all-time quarter. So shout out to that. That was fun. They won me some money. Shout out to the Bills. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I think that was actually like a perfect football game. We had a lot of offense, high-scoring game. We had defensive turnover, so that was good to see. We saw a lot of great defensive plays. Ed Oliver was just wrecking house a lot of that game. So Yeah, and then we got to see, of course, the game winner, walk-off field goal.
Reminds you of Rams Chiefs about 4 or 5 years back when Goff was a Ram, and then obviously on Monday night.
Yeah.
That was like, because that game had defensive touchdowns, had turnovers, but also had great offensive play. It was remind you a little bit of that game because there was just so much of it.
Yeah, that game's going to be on the short list of best games of the year. Like by the time we get to week 18, we might not have seen a better game than that one. Incredible game, fun game.
Good chance.
I got a question though, fellas, before we even dive into this game itself. Like, what was your takeaway coming away from the Ravens and the Bills in that game? Did that make you feel or change your feeling about either one of the teams coming out of week 1?
I had the same feeling, I think. I had the Bills being better than the Ravens a little bit this year. I mean, obviously, I have the Bills winning it all. So I think that the Bills look like they could. Both teams have a little bit of scarce. Like, defensively, both teams looked a little scary. I think maybe that's just because of how good those two quarterbacks are. And obviously, Derrick Henry as well. I can't leave him out. Or we'll see. We'll see moving forward what the defense looks like going on. But overall, I didn't really change anything. I've said that. I mean, and also felt like Josh Allen, second best quarterback in the league levels. Like, I just, everything that I felt didn't really change for me.
I think,
go ahead, Timmy.
I think it changed a little bit for me on Buffalo's side. I have them winning the Super Bowl. But I think seeing Keon Coleman get involved as much as he did really changed how I think this offense is going to work. So I still think it's going to be a great ground team, but now I think they're going to be a little bit more involved with the passing, and it's not going to be a bunch of 600 to 700 yard wide receivers and tight ends. Like, he might actually have a breakout role this year where he's featured 10 times a game. Yeah. So I did like that. And then on the Ravens side, I'm not worried at all. They're still going to be a great team. They literally just dropped 40 points on a team that I think is going to win the Super Bowl. So I think they'll be fine. No problem.
Yeah, I'm not really kind of changing my stance. I had Baltimore winning the Super Bowl. I also had Buffalo, I think, at 13-4, 14-3. So, like, I would expect an outcome from a game like this. As far as the Ravens, I'm not really concerned, really at all. Not even a single ounce. I think when they get Isaiah Likely back, that's going to help tremendously because I think Mark Andrews is really just a non-factor at this point. I think he's just a cone out there. Like he
feels like an older Jason Witten, where Jason Witten was like 3rd and 8, like he can get you 8 yards. Like kind of feels like at that point, but not like a difference maker like he was.
Yeah, like, and I like what D-Hop did. Zay Flowers, like I think Zay Flowers is going to have a huge year this year. Like I think he's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if at this rate if he's a Pro Bowl All-Pro receiver. I have confidence that their defense can kind of take it up a notch and kind of step up and play to their talent level. I think the coaching has to be fixed a little bit on that side of the ball. Like I think just like tackling drills, stuff like that. But I'm not really concerned. Great game though. Amazing game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree with both you and Tim, Branndon, as far as Zay Flowers and Keon Coleman stuck out to me as far as receivers. Zay Flowers is already a difference maker, but now, like you said, he looks like he's ready to make a leap. Like he just jumped off the screen that game. And Keon Coleman from year 1 to year 2, I know it's one game, but he does look poised to be their number 1 receiver. Weirdly, though, I would say I feel better about the Ravens coming out of this game than I thought. Even with how it ended, I think they pose a terrible matchup for Buffalo. I mean, I know how the game ended, but 3 quarters of that game, it was Baltimore dominating that game. And I had Buffalo winning the Super Bowl as well. I almost feel worse about them if that were the hypothetical matchup in the playoffs, which it is my AFC Championship game. I feel even more vindicated about Josh and Lamar being 1 and 2 as far as quarterbacks, however you want to rank them. Those got to be the 2 premier quarterbacks in the league. I know Mahomes, who we'll talk about, obviously, like he doesn't have the receivers, but man, those 2 play at such a high level, whether it's out of the pocket, inside the pocket. It seems like they're at the top of their game. And it just seems like they're not a level above Mahomes, but it seems like they're playing at a higher level, right? Like Mahomes is on their level, obviously, but it doesn't seem like he's reaching that level right now. So those were my takeaways.
Regular season wise, yeah, I feel that. But obviously, we know when it comes to the postseason, he elevates. He's obviously played as well as them every time they play against each other, really. So obviously, I understand what you're saying, though. But all right, Cleveland going to see Baltimore. 11.5 point spread here, favored in Baltimore's favor. Kyle, your thoughts?
It's the Joe Flacco homecoming. This is his first game back in Baltimore. So I mean, you know, in a perfect world for Joe Flacco, he takes over this game, throws for like 400 yards, and they win. I do think normally if you see a spread this high in a divisional game, I would lean towards taking the Browns in this situation. But coming off that loss, home opener for the Ravens, I do think the Ravens cover. I'm gonna go 34-20 Ravens.
All right, Branndon.
I think it's going to be a tough divisional matchup. Cleveland always plays Baltimore really tough. I think last week, like, we could see that, like, their defense really did not miss a step at all. I mean, held Cincinnati to, 17 points.
7 yards in the second half.
Yeah, like, I think their defense is legit. And I think their offense will be able to move the ball. I don't know how much. Now, with that being said, 11.5 is kind of lofty. I think it'll be like a 28-20 game, 28-21, something like that. Like, I would feel more comfortable taking the Browns at plus 11.5 or plus 12 versus taking the Ravens just outright on the spread.
I agree with Branndon. I think it's early. I think this defense is still giving it all they can. So I think it will be a good defensive batch. So I'm going to take it 20-10 Baltimore, but have the Browns cover.
Mm-hmm. So it's been interesting. Lamar is 3-3 in his last 6 games against the Browns. And obviously last year, after coming off a tough loss, week 1 to the Chiefs, they lost to the Raiders in a game that no one thought they were going to lose. So like it can be poised to a position like that. The Ravens have one loss like that every year. Though in 2 of the 3 wins, Lamar typically blows out the Browns if it's going to be that. But I think this game's close personally, but close win for Baltimore, 25-21. So I have the Browns covering, but I have the Ravens winning this game. All right. Next, we've got the Rams heading to Tennessee. Tennessee is a 5.5 point underdog. Kyle, what are your thoughts on this one?
It's a weird game. You got a West Coast team going to Central Time Zone, technically. Titans looked okay last week. Like, Cam Ward looked okay. The defense looked okay. I think they're poorly coached. The Rams start slow. I think this is going to be an ugly game. Something like 17-12. I really don't know. I can't call it. That's not my official score, so I'll let y'all talk about it. But I think it's going to be an ugly game. You lean towards the Rams, but I really could see the Titans winning this game. So I'm undecided. So I'm going to let y'all go.
Yeah, I do think it's actually going to be a good game. I was actually encouraged by how Tennessee played last week, especially against Denver. I think Cam Ward played better than what the box score suggested. Didn't help out because Alec Yamanor and Calvin Ridley both had a couple of drops. If they bring those in, it's probably a different game. I do like LA, but I think it's going to be a 20-17 game. Obviously in favor of the Rams, but I do think it's going to be a good game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of these where it comes down to the last possession.
I believe the over-under was set right around like high 30s, low 40s. I do think we see the under in this game, mainly what Kyle said. It's Tennessee, which kind of a poorly coached team, versus the Rams, who kind of start slow. So I'm going to take it 24-10. I think the Rams just get 1 or 2 drives. It's going to be a close game the whole time. Then they get 1 or 2 drives that just look pretty good. So they pull away with it. Give me LA.
I have the Rams winning 19-13. Timmy, it's 41.5, and so Vegas is pretty much saying it's going to be a 22-16-ish style, like roughly within that realm of game. So I have 19-13 Rams. I think it's going to. I just think after last week, offensively and coaching wise, there's such an edge for the Rams. But defensively, the Titans are good, so I think it's going to be an interesting game. But one the Rams just need to come out with a win. Not worry about how it happens. Just come out with another win.
What'd you say it was? 5.5?
Yeah, 5.5. Over under 41.5.
Part of me wants to pick Tennessee in this game. Part of me also, like you said, my record is so poor coming out of week 1. I just want to pick Tennessee. I just want to go with the Rams, but I could really see Tennessee winning this game. Give me 17-16. That's a hedge right there. 17-16 Rams.
17-16 Rams.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were just saying 17-16
anybody. Anybody.
Give me 17-16.
Whoever wins
fine.
17-16, I get it. As long as it lands on 17-16.
That's funny. All right. An interesting game here. We got Chicago heading to Detroit. Detroit is a 6.5-point favorite in this game. Kyle, your thoughts on it?
This is one of my favorite games. This is one of my favorite games of the week. Detroit coming off a disappointing week 1. Divisional rival. It's at home, right? Detroit at home.
Yeah.
6.5 to Chicago. I think it's going to be close. This is one where, again, my instincts tell me, like, lean Chicago, right? Ben Johnson knows the offense and the defense better than anybody on the Chicago side of things. So that's an advantage. We see that time and time again, too. Like, when it's a new coach, even if they're a bad coach, once they face their former team, they have that advantage. I think this is going to be a close game. Detroit needs this game. Detroit can't get behind the 8 ball when it comes to this, especially with the Minnesota win last week. If Chicago were to win this week, this would not be good. I'm going to go with Detroit 23-20.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Kyle on this. I think last week had more so to do with A, just a slow start, but also B, you get the Packers. And I think we all think that Green Bay is probably a top 3, top 4 team in the NFL at this point now. I think that defense is real legit. Chicago's got a pretty good defense, but I think Detroit's actually going to be able to give Chicago some problems. We saw last week Chicago really doesn't have a running game. It's mainly just DeAndre Swift, and he's a very inefficient running back. I think Detroit's secondary is going to be able to at least keep Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, and Olamide Zaccheaus in front of them. I don't know if they cover. I do think it's going to be a closer game. I have Detroit winning 24-20.
Dan Campbell, since becoming the coach of the Detroit Lions, is 10-0 after losing a regular season football game.
Tim with the stats.
They will not lose this game, and they will dominate this game defensively. That's where they're going to come to bring the pressure. You said that Ben Johnson kind of knows this defense. Well, Dan Campbell knows Ben Johnson, so maybe he brings a lot of pressure, brings it in a lot of ways that he's not ready to see. So I'm going to go 27-13. I think they dominate defensively.
Tell him.
Yeah.
I have this game 25-22 Detroit. I actually think Chicago's going to get up early. I think it's going to mimic a lot of last week's game. The way Caleb has been playing right now, when he's on script, he's been playing very well. He can kind of play to the script when it seems like afterwards, when the script's over with after those first 15-ish plays, it seems like things get a little bit chaotic, getting in and out of the huddle, calling the right play, getting into his sets, getting into like everything he needs to do. So I think early on, Ben Johnson's going to have like an electric first drive, because I think he's been waiting and circled this game. Like, I'm going back to Detroit. I got to show that I'm a great head coach. He's going to have some cool trick plays and something cool. But then I think afterwards, when it really settles, everything settles down, and you just have to get to playing football, that Detroit's just a better team, and they're going to show it. 25-22 Detroit.
Give me Aiden Hutchinson, 4 sacks.
Ooh.
I love it.
Love it.
Damn.
Aiden Hutchinson, 4 sacks. I love
An
it.
unprompted bold take.
Yeah, no, those are the ones that are the best.
Just right off the dome.
I love those ones. The ones where you feel it in your bone marrow. You're like,
first play of the game, he's going to be on his back.
We going 1 sack a quarter, or is there a quarter where he gets 2? What are we doing here?
Oh, no. I think first half he'll have 3, and then he'll get another one in the second.
It.
I think it'll come early.
Hey, if that happens, then your score is like right in the realm.
Absolutely going to happen, for sure. All right, we got Buffalo heading to New York. Buffalo's favored in this game by 6.5. Kyle, you want to go on this one real quick? See what you have? I'm interested.
Hey, I mean, the Jets, they're kind of like the Diet Ravens when it comes to Justin Fields and Breece Hall. Like, they've got a blueprint right there from last week as far as running on the Bills. So I could see this actually being a high-scoring game. I think it'll be closer, especially if we get the Fields in the running game that we got from the Jets last week. I'm going to go 27-24 Bills. Weirdly enough, Josh Allen dominates the Pats, dominates the Dolphins. Jets seem to give him problems. In New Jersey, in particular, he has problems. So for whatever reason, but I do think both offenses get going. Yeah, I think we see a lot of the run game from the Jets. I feel like Fields is going to go crazy again. 27. Let me go 28-24. We'll even go raise it up a little bit.
Yeah, this is actually a game that I have circled. This is probably maybe the second game as far as the most that I'm looking forward to. I love the fact that Justin Fields played good last week. I've always been a big Justin Fields fan. I've always wanted to see him succeed. I think now he's in an offensive system that's catered to him. And I think that helps out a lot because, like Kyle said, he is, him and Breece Hall is like Ravens light. I love Breece Hall, love the offensive line. I do think Buffalo will cover, but I do think it'll be a competitive game. I have Buffalo winning 31-24. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was closer.
I think the game will be kind of close, but I think it's mainly going to come from the defenses. I think Buffalo coming after that game where they let up 40 points is going to want to make a defensive stand early on. So I think mainly we see a lot of defense here. So I'm going to take it 20-14. Buffalo wins, low scoring game, take the under.
I have this game 26-17 Buffalo. I think it's going to be a game where obviously last week was an emotional high, obviously coming back 40-25 down and bringing it to 41-40. I don't think that they take the Jets light because it is a divisional opponent, but I also think that style points here doesn't really matter to them. It's kind of just getting out with a win. I think that's really their main focus because you don't want a team that you're much better than in the Jets, or at least just better than, just not to say much because the Jets did look pretty decent week one. Team that you're better than, you don't want to fall, especially in the division, especially if you get a win against the Ravens. You want to try to be that one seed this year, especially last year in the new stadium. So 26-17 Buffalo, I think that it's going to be close for most of it, and I think Buffalo probably gets a late touchdown to kind of pull away a little bit.
I think they're going to have a tough time with the Jets. I really do. I think this is going to be, I don't know, after what the Ravens did to them last week, I can't unsee that. I could just see Justin Fields and Breece going crazy on them. And I don't know.
I also think it matters that they play. I also think it matters that Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson played together. I think that actually does matter a bit with them at Ohio State. I mean, obviously not that it's Burrow and Chase, but
they have rapport.
You already have that rapport with somebody, especially in a collegiate set where you can kind of just work and really those two are the main two. So I think that matters. I think getting a guy that you're comfortable with already matters. So I think I could see the Justin Fields being a little bit better because he's in a system that believes in him, that chose him and wants him to be there. So I don't disagree that this could be a tough one.
Hey, and home dogs first 4 weeks of the season, that could be an advantage. They continue to do well. So
yeah. So I think we all have this in a respectable game. I have the biggest blowout. I'm not really, but 9 points. But I think this can come more late. But next we've got Giants versus Dallas. Dallas is favored by 4.5. I'm going to start with Timmy on this one. Timmy, I'll let you go.
First of all, has anybody picked an upset, or have we all picked the same way so far? I think so.
We've all picked the exact same way so far.
That's really good. That's going to work out well for us this week.
It's either going to work out phenomenal or terrible. But so far, we've had all of these have been favorites, other than the Packers are 3.5. But all these have been favorites of 4.5 or more. So they're technically not. We're getting into the much closer favorite, so I think there will be some variance over the next 8 to 9
You might
games.
see me flip
You
might see me flip on Titans Rams then if it keeps going this way.
A last second, yeah. Just try to make up some ground
from the logo.
You're right.
When we did our 4:00 pod last week, I said that I was taking Dallas by a handful of points. Dak Prescott 13-0 against New York. Don't expect that to change. I'll take Dallas 28-13. I think they fucking blow them out. I hate the Giants so much.
What for people who don't know, Timmy is a full Giant. Like his Giants are his favorite team. So him hating his favorite team sounds like Branndon when the Jags play bad.
No hate, like
Do
self
not
hate.
let Russ cook.
I love it. All right, Kyle, your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean it's hard not to agree with what Tim said, right? Like Cowboys should win this game. That being said, Daboll is coaching for his job from here on out. So I could see, and they do have a formidable defense. Divisional game, and I think it's 6.5, right? Cowboys are favored by.
Yep.
Oh
no, 4.5.
For real?
It's been bet down a lot.
It's been bet
It
down.
was 6.5. It opened at 6.5, and now it's down
4.5.
I thought it was even 6.5 earlier. Man, I could see it being a closer game. I really could, because I mean, the Giants' schedule. We went over this in the preseason. The Giants' schedule is like insane. So like, if not now, then when? You know what I mean? So I mean, not necessarily a win, but at least a close game. Shit, I'll give it a 23-20 Dallas.
All right, Branndon.
Yeah, I think I do think it's going to be a closer game. I could see New York's defensive line just giving Dallas pure hell. I don't really think it's going to matter with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I think CD is going to get his. I think George will be more involved this year or this week too. I think the whole Javonte Williams thing is going to be non-existent this week. I don't think the Cowboys are going to be able to run the ball on the Giants. I do have the Cowboys winning 24-20 though. I might change my mind up until Sunday. I might be putting money on the Giants on Hard Rock. I don't know. But for now, I'm going to go with Dallas.
Fair.
By the way, 17-16, flip that. I'm going Titans over the Rams. I'm not convinced on the Rams. My gut tells me the Titans, so I'm going to go with the Titans.
I've been sacrifices. I've been balling ever since. 27-17 Dallas. I think that I like the way that they looked last week against the Eagles. I know Jalen Carter not being there kind of threw a monkey wrench in the defensive game plan of the Eagles, but still that doesn't negate the fact that Dallas was moving up and down on them prior to the delay, and that just threw everything off. So I got 27-17 just because I don't think offensively the Giants are going to be able to do a whole lot. And I think after some point, the well's kind of going to just break, and Dallas is going to be able to score. With one of the more odd games of the week now, 49ers at the Saints. The 49ers are still favored by 3. You got Mac. You got Return of the Mac starting, going
Mac
down
Jones.
to Mac Jones and the big who Mac Jones, who Mac Jones. Going into Wheezy F baby, and the F is for fun game.
Going down, fun game.
Going down to I'm gonna quickly go on this one just because I just want to get mine out of the way. I got it 20. I'm not even. I'm got it 18-14. 18-13 Saints are going to lose. No, I can't go with the Saints. I really can't go with the Saints. I thought about it, but I can't. I got the 49ers. McCaffrey's going to do enough. That's really where I got it. I can't say anything else.
Yeah, I'm with Keenan on this one. I think you're going to get a heavy dose of Ricky Pearsall and Christian McCaffrey. Mac has a tendency to lock onto one receiver. He did it obviously in Jacksonville last year with BTJ.
Mm-hmm.
I got 20-10 Niners.
I'm going to stick in that same vein. I think I've seen Nick Mullins come in as a 3-point favorite and just blow a team out before. So I think the game will still be good. No Kittle, I get it, but this is the Saints. So I'll take it 21-10. I think they handle it.
Kyle's going Saints. I can feel it.
I'm weirdly looking forward to this game. There was all kinds of buzz that the Niners were like in love with Mac Jones coming out, and now they finally get his chance. People were in love with him in training camp this past summer too, like how Mac Jones is performing. His preseason was whatever, but I'm really looking forward to like the Kyle Shanahan test, because it seems like any backup QB you put in, they at least produce, right? So I'm very intrigued what Mac looks like in this offense. I'm actually taking the Niners 24-16. I think it's going to be a fun game. I really do. And I'm looking forward to see what Mac looks like in this offense. 281-330-8004.
Damn.
Okay.
Mike Jones reference.
305 to my city. Next we got New England versus Miami. We got Miami favored by 2.5. This game is
disgusting.
One of the more interesting games to me in the sense of which week one performance were both of them true? Was one of them true? And if so, which one? Or were both of them not true? So are the Dolphins really that horrendous? Are the Patriots really that disorganized? Or are each team better than they played and just played a terrible week one? I don't know. Kyle, we'll start with you here.
Tim said he hates his team. I hate this game. I hate this game. If the Dolphins would have just like showed up last week, I'd be like, all right, cool. Like this gives me something. But you said it exactly, Keenan. Dolphins looked like shit last week. Patriots, I expected them to start slow, which is why I had them at like 7 wins, 8 wins. I expect them to start slow and then hit their stride maybe late October. But they look disorganized from what I heard. Quick story, Keenan. Like I came on here on Sunday talking about like, oh, the Patriots weren't the local game, right? Found out what it was. Shows you how little I watch TV, right? So I apparently watched Hulu on my phone when I was in New York at the beginning of summer. So it changed my location to New York, like New Jersey area. Because like my CBS was like channel 2 and everything was different. I'm like, wait a second, why would it be New York? And then so I like hardly watched TV over the summer apparently because it didn't even change my location. Still has not, and I changed it on my phone and it still has not changed on the TV. So I got to get this figured out before Sunday so I can watch this fucking game. All that being said, yeah, right. All that being said, I have no idea. I have no idea about this game because yeah, the Dolphins look awful. Patriots didn't look much better. Patriots are at home, I believe, right? This is in Foxborough.
Nope, this is in Miami. This is in 305 to my city.
And the Dolphins are a slight favorite.
I get it.
I feel terrible about both teams, honest to God. I'm gonna let y'all go. I just told that story to not make a pick, so y'all go ahead.
23-19 New England, as inept, not even inept, just as disorganized as New England looked. They didn't look as bad as the Dolphins. I had the Dolphins being worse than the Patriots to start the season, and after week one, I'm not going to change on that, especially with how both teams looked. I've got the Patriots winning 23-19 in a weird one. I think if the Patriots are a sleeper team for the playoffs where people feel like they could have been preseason, this is a game where they kind of can get right, even though it might be 104 feels like in the MIA.
Yeah, I'm back and forth on this one. I'm actually going to go with New England. Tua looks like he is just completely lost. Like I'm sure he probably got concussed at some point during that game. I was waiting for him to throw up gang signs, honestly. Like just never saw it. Also, I think this is the Travion Henderson coming out party. Mike Vrabel said that kind of like a little comment directed at Ramondre, said that they had to be more efficient on the ground. And, I mean, we know who the more efficient back is at this point. I also think Kayshon Boutte, I think he eats again this week.
Mr. New Booty.
Any pass catcher for New England should eat this week. The Miami secondary is the worst in the NFL. Might even be worse than a few college football teams if you want to be real here. I'm going to give you a weird score. New England 22, Miami 12. I think this is a bunch of field goals, and I think Miami fans will be calling for Mike McDaniel's job after this game.
Branndon, what was your score?
Oh, 24-17.
24-17. You might have said it and I just missed it. All right, Kyle, you now have to make a decision.
I'm going to go with the bum-ass Dolphins 21 over the bum-ass Patriots 15.
If make up some ground right here.
Right, yeah. That's what I got to do.
Tennessee, you're banking on Tennessee and Miami being the teams that bring you to make up ground. It's
disgusting. At least I got Tennessee at home. I'm not proud of this Dolphins pick, and it's against my team. It's against my team. It's just disgusting on all ends. That being said, if
going against Sean McVay and Mike Vrabel,
if the Dolphins lose this game, I'm jumping on the bandwagon of Keenan and Tim. Mike Daniel's not going to make it out of September. He'll make it to that September game, but if they go 0-4, like that's a wrap. That's a wrap, and especially if they lose this game, this has got to be the game they win. So,
just letting you know, I've been trying to tell you guys this for a while.
Hey, I've been right there with you, Keenan. I hate the Dolphins.
Then they play Buffalo next week, and they're going to get waxed. And then they play the Jets after that. And if they get beat by the Jets and they lose all,
if they go all 0-3 in the division, he's not making it out of.
Zach Wilson
going into that Panthers game, that might be their saving grace. Like that might be the fact that you could say, "Hey, we got to win," but if it was the Panthers.
All depends on if Tyreek wants to play. Like if Tyreek can give them real effort, like that's part of it. But on top of that, like Branndon said, that was Tua's probably worst game of his career last week. It was awful. The whole team was awful.
Yeah.
And my personal favorite game of the 1:00 window, we got Jacksonville heading to Cincinnati. Cincinnati favored by 3.5. I think this is two good that could be possibly very goodish style teams. Obviously, both teams 1-0. The Bengals did not look as good as the Jags week 1, so we'll see how this goes. I'm excited for it. Branndon, we'll start with you. Your team.
All right, so I actually am going to be going with Cincinnati. I liked what I saw from my team last week. Trevor, I'm like, you got to start making some of those throws. He had quite a few misses, and that concerns me because they're kind of routine throws. I think Cincinnati's going to be able to score on our defense. I think vice versa. I think we will be able to score as well too. I do think Liam Cohen opens up the offense a little bit more. I actually think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I have Cincinnati winning 31, and I have Jacksonville at 27. Obviously, if Jacksonville wins, though, I'm not going to be mad.
Yeah, this is one of those win-wins. I'm either correct or my team wins.
Yeah, I'm just not ready to drink the Kool-Aid yet. I need to see another couple weeks out of the offense.
You need more people to go to the Punch Bowl and to be like, man, this is good. Yeah. This is actually good.
Yeah.
I'll drink it. Yeah.
I agree with pretty much the same spread of Branndon. I think it'll be a little bit lower scoring game than that. I'll take it 28-25, but I think Cincinnati, I like their offense better, and I don't like either defense necessarily. So it'll pretty much just be a score at will, get points on most drives game, in my opinion.
I'm going to bounce off of that because I have 29-26 Cincinnati. It's pretty much the same score. I had this written down prior to Timmy saying it, so I think it's for all the same reasons. I think that
he really likes that term, and it gets me every time.
I don't know why bounce off of. Like, why is that so crazy? I don't know why that, out of all terms that I have ever said, I don't know why bounce off of is the crazy one. But sorry,
we're very mature.
I will pick up off of the thoughts of Timmy and go from there.
Hey, I ain't got no thoughts.
Yeah, he's got a wife. But 29-26 Cincinnati. I got this in a fun one. There's a chance though this could be 20-17 and both teams just look there in week 2.
Yeah, let me throw it back off of it. Now fuck with y'all.
Hey, yo.
I'm a double back on
intentional
it.
AO right there. Intentional AO.
Hey, yo.
Oh shit. What was your score, by the way? What's your score, Keenan?
29-26 Cincinnati.
I'm going the exact score, but I'm going the opposite team. My only real reason, even though Jacksonville doesn't have a great defense, how could I not be uninspired by the 7-yard second half from the Cincinnati Bengals? They're known slow starters. This should be a get-right spot for them. But this is exactly the type of team that could steal a win early on. So I wouldn't be surprised here to see Cincinnati go down 0-2. We've seen it before. And Jacksonville is talented enough to do that on offense. And we saw ETN pull off a big run last week. Why couldn't they do that this week? So same score as you, Keenan, but Jacksonville I'm rolling with.
I think that the 7-yard second half actually might bode a little bit well for Cincinnati. Hopefully it. No, I mean like waking them up in the sense of like, let's hope.
Shit, it better.
Maybe. But, no, that's what I'm saying. So I think like you might get yourself buttoned up in playing in Cincinnati too also helps. So, yeah. So now we get to Denver and Indianapolis. Indianapolis is 2.5-point underdogs in this one. So interesting. Obviously, Denver didn't look great. Indy looked like one of the 3 best teams in the league last week when it comes to it. Sam, Green Bay and the Chargers looked like, and then obviously Buffalo and Baltimore, but they looked really good. Kyle, we'll start with you here. Your Indianapolis Colts.
I mean, it's really my Denver Broncos, right? I got them winning the division, but
yeah, you do.
But I am kind of big on the Colts.
These are your 2 teams.
You say that, but guess what? I mean, this is one of my favorite games of the week. It's going head to head with the Chiefs and Eagles, right? This is a 4:00 game.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see, like, is Daniel Jones in this offense for real, or is that just a Miami quit game 1? Because there's a ton of talent on that offense. They're well coached. Broncos coming off an ugly win versus the Titans. Do you guys remember what this game was last year? Do you remember the last matchup? So this was the game that Jonathan Taylor broke one. Would have put him up 3 or 4 scores, and he dropped the ball at the goal line, and then the Broncos come back and win. So this is a super intriguing game.
You want to know what's crazy? If he runs that in, the Bengals are in the playoffs.
Oh,
really?
Shit, that's right. Yeah.
Like if he just gets in the end zone there.
And that was like mid-season too. That wasn't even like week 13, right? That was like a week 8 game or something like that. That's crazy.
If that happens, they're in the playoffs. That's so crazy to think.
Damn.
I'm going with the Broncos due to how I feel about them. You know, I mean, if I got them winning the division, they kind of have to win this game. These type of games anyway against a mid-tier team. But I can't wait. I think this is going to be a weirdly entertaining game. Let's go 23-22, Denver.
All right.
Field goal at the buzzer, at the horn.
So this one, I'm going Denver on this. I know Denver didn't look great last week. I feel like a lot of week 1 performances, you can't really take them, fully. Like you can't take them at face value because a lot of teams do come out of the gate rusty. I do think Denver's going to win this one rather comfortably. I liked what I saw out of Indy last week, but it was against the Miami Dolphin defense.
Yeah.
This is the Denver Broncos defense. I think the best defense in the league. I think Bo Nix gets it rolling. I think the running game's going to be pretty big for Denver this week. I have Denver winning 24-14.
Although the Indianapolis offense was like the talk of the town last week, that's all people were talking about. Their defense actually made a lot of plays in that game to lead to that 33-point game. So I think we're going to get a good defensive game here. I'm going to take it super low. I don't know what the over-under is. I'm guessing
43.5.
Yep. Makes sense. I'm taking it 13-10. Give me Indianapolis.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been bouncing back and forth, on this. I hope that's not crazy, Timmy. I've been okay, but
back and forth and up and down.
Hey,
side to side.
That's the second intentional. Hey, yo. Kyle, you got one more.
Flagrant fouls all over the place.
I think Denver kind of has to win this game. I think being 0-2, not 0-2, sorry, going 1-1, but I think the ability to go 2-0, especially if the Chargers are able to get to 2-0, keeping up with them, and possibly the Chiefs being 0-2. I think if you could get a 2-game lead on the Chiefs already in the division, it puts you in a good spot. I think Denver wins this game 20-17 in an interesting one.
Can I change my score, Keenan?
Yeah,
I agree with Tim. I think this is going to be actually a disgusting game. I gave these guys too much credit to get in the 20s. I'm going to say 18-16. Same ending, same winner, but I'm going to lower the score.
If Russell Wilson was quarterback in the Denver Broncos, I promise you they would not be in the 20s. because I refused to bet them or pick them over 18 because they couldn't get past 18. I refused to pick them. Everything was 18.
Hey, Keenan, also, quick story. I don't know why I just got reminded of it. Has nothing to do with football or anything. Our cousin Branndon, on the verge of tearing his Achilles last week, like could tear it at any time. And this kid is not walking on crutches, so he has no clue what's coming for him because he seems to think it's not that
calf strain.
What's up?
Do you strain his calf?
No, like it was on the verge of tearing.
So he has like a slightly.
It's bad, and I was like, "You're not on crutches." He's like, "Nah," and I'm like, "It's probably gonna tear soon."
He's gonna tear doing nothing. Like he's just gonna step. And he's just gonna go. He's just gonna go. He hasn't watched enough sports to know. I thought he had a calf strain. I was like, you might as well lay him up for a month and a half.
No, his shit was like his shit was like black. I was like, yeah, it's not good.
Golly, not good. And he doesn't realize that the Achilles is such a terrible injury to have to deal with. Like you can't do a thing.
Yeah, he was telling me that. He's like, I guess there's this muscle behind your ankle. He's like, it's called the Achilles. I was like, yeah. He's like, the tendon like almost snapped. And I was like, yeah. I was like, Brandon, that's like an 18-month recovery period. Like, you got to get that shit figured out, bro. Like,
that's a year for regular human beings. I mean, by regular, I mean NFL sports human beings.
And that was last
because they're
that was last week after the injury happened. Then I saw him yesterday, and he was limping on it. And I was like, why aren't you on crutches? And he's like, oh, it's fine. I'm like,
at least a boot. Like if he's not going to crutch, at least a boot to stabilize it.
He was out of the boot. He was out of the boot. He's asking for it to tear, just like walking. So.
Yeah, no, he's literally going to just take a step and like his calf's going to half flex and bing. It's going to go.
I don't wish it on him.
It's just going to go.
I don't wish it on him.
No, I don't wish that on anybody.
It might happen.
No, that's terrible.
I accidentally skipped a 1:00 game in my writing it down. I'll go quickly back to it. Seattle and Pittsburgh. Seattle is on 3-point underdogs in this game. Whew, this one's an interesting one.
This could be the game that we thought the Jets was going to be as far as like ugly and defensive. I'm rolling with Pittsburgh though. Give me 24-19. Yeah, give me 24-19 Pittsburgh. Home opener for them. It'll be tough for Darnold. I know that Pittsburgh's defense didn't look great against Fields and them last week, but I could see them getting right against Seattle, and I could see it just being an ugly game.
So I've been back and forth on this game all week. I don't feel confident about this, but I feel like this is a Seattle game. I actually like Seattle in this. I think their defense is really, really good, specifically their secondary. I do think Rodgers is going to have a lot more tougher of a time trying to move the ball. With just one receiver out there, Jonnu Smith. I mean, because Seattle's going to cover underneath. They can cover deep. They can play zone. They can play man. They can play whatever. And then, two, I like, as crazy as it sounds, I like Seattle's offense to make a couple more plays than Pittsburgh's. Mainly with the running game with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker actually gets going this week. But I think that's an exceptional 1A, 1B, 1-2 punch in the backfield. So I'm going to take Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle 20-17.
I was super back and forth. I just didn't know which way I'd lean on this game. I think most weeks I would take Pittsburgh just because it is at home. But I agree with Branndon. I think Seattle's going to be able to run the ball this week. Kenneth didn't really get going at all last week. And really neither did Charbonnet. So together, I think they kind of control this game. And then it's defensive. Two good defenses should be two good defenses. Seattle, we know. Pittsburgh didn't look too hot. But I'll take it 26-19. Mainly a running game for them. Not too much on Sam Darnold's shoulders. One thing to remember, Mike McDonald is the Ravens' prior defensive coordinator who played the Steelers a bunch of times. So this is kind of like not a homecoming, but homecoming to the division. So he might know some things, know what to do, really confuse him defensively.
I feel I hate it. I'm going with Seattle as well, 22-19. I just hate it now because I had it already there.
Bring the win to me. Bring the win to me.
I know.
Kyle mixed up every game this week.
He might. Jeez. But no, I got Seattle 22-19. I echo the things that you guys said. I think it's going to be a running game. I think they're going to make it uncomfortable for Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, if he has a clean pocket and has time to throw, I think can still dice you up. I do think that Aaron Rodgers last year against pressure was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And I think it's just because he doesn't have the mobility he once had. I think that the Seahawks are going to be able to get pressure, make it a difficult game, and they won't be able to control the line of scrimmage the same way that the Seahawks can. So 22-19 Seattle. I think it's a perfect line, though. I think that 3-point line is kind of like perfect there. And you might pick it over under, but I think that 3-point line is kind of set perfect.
I'm surprised to hear this much confidence out of the two former Jets quarterbacks. I'm surprised to hear this much confidence in Darnold. I think it could be an ugly day for him. I got it a little closer, obviously, but I do think on the worst side of things, like, it could get ugly.
Mm-hmm. It's a good point. I should have picked it like 6-3 then.
Yeah.
Should have been like the worst game we've ever seen.
Let it rain a little bit. Yeah, this shit will be ugly. And
one team might score 6 points in this next game. We got Carolina versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are favored by 6.5.
Stinky.
You stinky, hefty.
Oh man, this is disgusting. The Panthers are disgusting. Like we tried, along with probably the NFL world. We tried.
I really tried.
We tried at the end of the year where like it could be like the Panthers could steal the NFC South, and it's like they gave us nothing against Jacksonville. And I know it was a weird game with the weather delay, but 6.5, like. Early on, big spreads, whatever, but like I'm confident in this one. Like I think it's a lock that the Cardinals cover. I think it's a lock for James Conner on over because they cannot stop the run. Panthers cannot stop the run at all. That was one of my big things. Like if they're going to be successful at all, they got to apply any amount of pressure on defense, whether that's pass defense, rush defense, whatever. And they still just seem sharp and soft. So I'm going to go with what kind of score are we going with here? I want to say 28-13, but wasn't that the exact score of the Jags-Panthers last week?
26-10?
26-10. Okay, yeah. I'll go 28-13 then. Cards.
Yeah, I didn't like what I saw from Carolina last week. There was actually, funny enough, I don't know if y'all saw this clip or not. We have, in Jacksonville, there's a pick-a-helmet thing, and there's 3 helmets that come on the Jumbotron. Normally you win like a little gift or whatever. Bryce Young was actually watching the helmet selection thing, which I think is insane because it's like, buddy, you're on the field right now. Like, what the hell are we doing? I don't like Carolina at all. I actually think Arizona's going to blow them out. I think it's going to be like a 28-14 game.
Not as high on Arizona. This year, this week, all of it. Last week against the Saints, yes, it's week 1, but I think if they're a real good football team, they blow the brakes off of them. So I didn't love that. So I'm actually going to take it 20-13. I would not be surprised at all if they do not cover. I think this line's a little bit too tall. We saw this last year. Same exact thing. They played each other. Cardinals had their playoff hopes on the line in this game, and they lost to Carolina. So would not surprise me if Carolina upsets them. The thunderstorm does kind of derail things, but yeah, it's still a really bad defense, and Arizona has a good rushing offense, so it should work out for Arizona, but I could just see it not and being a lower, ugly game. But yeah.
I think it's going to be an ugly game. I agree with you. Home opener for Arizona, which is good for them. I think they're going to control the game, but I think they're going to control an ugly game. I don't see a lot of touchdowns in this game. I got a 22-9. I think that it's just going to be the Panthers are going to do their darndest to try to get into field goal range, and they might get there a couple times, but 22-9. America's Game of the Week getting called by Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. I've heard so much commentary all week on this game, deservingly so. Super Bowl rematch. You've got the Philadelphia Eagles heading to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Swifties.
The Chiefs are 1.5-point underdogs. Now I got a verse for the Swifties. Drop and give them 50. Pipsqueak, pipe down. All right, Kyle, what are your thoughts on this one?
I was trying to decipher what verse that was.
Push-ups. Travis got you wiped down. Scissor got you wiped down.
Got you.
You in the scoop right now.
This is a tough game for me because my instincts would be to and everyone's instincts is if you got a home dog in Kansas City, you take them, especially on a Super Bowl rematch. But let's be real here. Who is Patrick Mahomes throwing to on the Swifties besides Mr. Swift himself?
We got Mr. Hollywood. You
Tyquan Thornton, Patriots legend.
Right.
Tyquan Thornton.
He's got the same name as the guy who got cut. No, that was Tyquan Underwood. This is Tyquan Thornton. Okay, yeah. This is
Tyquan Thornton, kind of real Patriots guy, man.
I've been getting him mixed up with Tyquan Underwood, but yes, he is Patriots great, former Patriots great.
Yeah,
second round pick.
But
one of them ones. One of the guys who was supposed to be the savior. He's supposed to be one of our guys. We're yeah.
One of many.
No, we got Tyquan Thornton, boys.
One of many. And he does have supposed to have speed, whatever. I want to pick the Chiefs this game. I really do, but this is the kind of territory the Eagles live in. An ugly game. They're built for it. They have so much talent. Their offensive line's good enough to where they can just skate through these games. And I don't know, man. I feel two ways about it. Part of me is telling me all right, Dallas threw on them all last week. And some of us thought that Philly was going to kind of run away with that game. And Dallas had no problem moving the ball. So in that case, why can't KC? But at the same time, I just feel like the talent is overwhelming. Having Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy out, that's tough. That being said, they're game planning for that. So this game should be close. It's tough. I'm not going to bet this game at all, but give me 23-20 Kansas City Chiefs, and I feel disgusting about it.
Yeah, I also feel disgusting about this game as well too. I agree with you, Kyle. This is one that I'm staying away from on the books. I am not touching it. Unless you put a gun to my head, then I will.
I will.
Be all right, whatever.
I have to now.
I just say pull the trigger.
Just pull the trigger.
I'm not winning. This game is gonna go the wrong way every time. I guarantee it.
Pull the trigger. Do it.
End it.
I can see this being an ugly game. I didn't like the way that Philly looked last week. I would hope that they get AJ Brown and Devontae Smith involved a little bit more this week than what they were last week. I don't know how confident I feel in that because it is a Philadelphia offense. I don't like what Kansas City has. I mean, they have the ghost of Juju Smith-Schuster, Patriots legend Tyquan Thornton, and then Mr. Hollywood, Florida, not California. And then Kelsey, Pacheco looked like a cone. Kareem Hunt's 57 years old now.
There's so much not to like.
I know. I can't go with the Chiefs. Even though it feels wrong to pick against them, I feel like with the lack of receivers, I feel like I got to go Philly, and I got to go Philly 24. I'll go 24-21 just because I can't really give Philly a touchdown.
I like the score for that. The Chargers taught us that you can pass on the Chiefs and you can do it pretty efficiently.
True.
Dallas Goedert is missing this game. He's out. And every time he misses time, Devonta Smith steps up and he plays pretty well. So I think they do get involved. I think they pass on him well. I still think it'll be close. I'm going to take it 25-21, but I think the Eagles get the dub here. They cover the spread. Good game.
I agree. I have a 25-22 Eagles. I had that written down. Timmy and I have a lot of the same scores right now, we're close to. But you can move the ball. I think that Jalen Hurts is kind of the perfect quarterback to play against the Chiefs where he has a dual threat. So you've got to keep the linebackers honest, but you're also going to have receivers that are going to get open. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith should be featured in this game. Saquon Barkley, they're probably going to try to take away again. Last time he ran against him, I think it was 57 yards on 19 carries in the Super Bowl, and didn't obviously matter. But I think the Chiefs are going to obviously have a better performance in their Super Bowl performance, but I do think that the Eagles are just a better team right now, the healthier team right now, so I do think they get the W.
Yeah, man, the Chiefs got to come out like playing for their season. Like the same way I talked about Detroit and Chicago, like that's how I feel like KC's got to approach this game, just with the talent in that division. But like Tim said, man, like it wasn't that Herbert played well. The receivers were wide open. Like I could have made some of those throws, I feel like. And that was alarming last week when we were watching this game. Because you at least see some pressure for KC. You at least see guys covered, and the Chargers were having no problem moving the ball. And the Eagles have much more talent. That being said, I'm going to go with the desperate team. But I feel terrible about it. Like absolutely terrible about it. So
Kyle's really trying to make up these picks.
Yeah, like just desperate.
It's either going to be really good or terrible for
Give me, you're right. Yeah. Give me the Panthers in a blowout actually against the Jags. Like, come on.
No, he very much is going for the gusto this week. He's trying to get back. We've got Atlanta heading to Minnesota. Minnesota is 3.5-point favorites in this Sunday night game. So, Kyle, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this one?
It's going to be a fun game. I can't wait for this game.
National championship quarterback rematch.
True. Monday was a weirdly fun game with J.J. McCarthy and Caleb Williams, like the tale of two halves for those guys. And McCarthy's case, tale of one quarter. That fourth quarter, he kind of just took over. Minnesota's so much more well-rounded and so much more well-coached. I think it's going to be an offensive explosion, though, with Atlanta's defense. I want to pick the Falcons. I badly want to pick the Falcons, but I'm going to roll with the Vikings here, 27-25.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. Huh?
This is like Brandon's teams. He's obviously an Atlanta guy, but he also he does like himself some Vikings, has them in the playoffs this year. This is Brandon's team.
Yeah, no. This is another one that I'm like back and forth on. Like this is another one that I will not touch on the sport books like at all, just because the fact that I could really see it going either way. With that being said, obviously I love what I saw from Atlanta last week. I think if there was another 5-6 minutes left in that game, I think you can make a case Atlanta wins that game against Tampa Bay. J.J. McCarthy did not look good at first. Like Kyle said, the second half, mainly the fourth quarter, put a Superman cape on. And
mini Josh Allen performance, three touchdowns in the fourth quarter for him. So
yeah, and I was like, damn. I was like, all right, JJ, like I see you. With that being said, I'm going to go with the Falcons. I loved what I saw from Penix. Darnell Mooney comes back this week, which is huge. Great number 2 receiver. Darnell Mooney comes back. You also I think they'll be able to run the ball a little bit more efficiently than what they could against Tampa. Tampa, you got Vita Vea and all those big guys in the middle, and they're really set to stop the run. I have Atlanta winning 27-23.
I really don't know which way this game is. Like, I want to say Minnesota just handles this game, but the way they started the game last week, I don't know if that'll be similar this week or if JJ's got all the jitters out and maybe he just is good now. I'll take Minnesota at home. I'll take it 23-20. I think it is a good game. But I was very close to picking Atlanta here. Definitely.
This kind of feels like the national championship game where Washington had just like the high-powered offense, which is what Atlanta has the potential to have, and then Minnesota, which is Michigan in this case, had just a well-rounded, oiled machine. Obviously, they could run a little bit better than this Vikings team can because that Michigan team could put the ball on the ground and go. But I actually have Atlanta in this game 24-20. Now, some of these games that we've been talking about that we're wanting to stay away on the sports books, if I had to bet them straight, absolutely. I have them actually in a few teasers that I like. teasing Atlanta up to about 10, plus 10, I think is like a perfect line for them. I don't think they can get, not they can't get, I don't think they will get blown out in this game. I loved what I saw from Penix last week. I just love the grit, the hustle that he put in. I understand Flores puts some sick defenses out there, in the words of Brock Purdy. Like, I know he can put together a sick game plan, but I do think that the neutralizer for some of that too can be Bijan, because he's just sometimes peak athleticism and peak skill talent can just kind of neutralize a little bit of that defense. So I think a big game from Bijan, 24-20 Atlanta. And then we got the classic Monday Night Football, which typically is a week 1 thing, but they pushed it to week 2.
For whatever reason.
For whatever reason, they said, hey, let's go to week 2 this time. We've got Tampa Bay going to Houston, and Houston's 2.5-point favorites in this game. Kyle, what are your thoughts?
I actually love Houston this game. Not in love with Tampa's defense early on, and I think C.J. Stroud's going to have a bounce-back game. Again, I thought the Texans were poised to be driving to win that game late against the Rams before the forced fumble. So, home opener, Monday night, primetime spot. I like the Texans in this situation. I'm going to go, say 27-23 Houston.
This is another game where I'm like, yeah, I could kind of see it going either way. Obviously, Houston kind of had a down week last week offensively. I really think it was just a byproduct of, again, week 1 and then an offensive line. With that being said, I think their O-line is a problem. I think even if they gel together, it's still going to be an issue. I think Tampa Bay could do just enough on defense really to throw C.J. Stroud off. I do think that Houston's going to be able to drive up and down the field and score a little bit, but I am going to go with Tampa Bay on this one. I understand with Houston's defense. Right now, I just trust Tampa Bay's offense way more than what I do with Houston. I do think that we could have a possibility for a higher scoring game. I don't know if that'll be the case, though. I have Tampa Bay winning 27-20.
Pretty similar to Branndon. I just trust Tampa Bay's offense more right now, even against Houston's defense. Their defense is good, but this offensive line, it probably won't be the situation that they were in last week where they lose 3 starters and they need to throw in a bunch of backups and start switching positions, but it'll still be a bad line. So I got it 23-14. I think Tampa Bay handles them.
I got it 23-19 Tampa. Tristan Wirfs probably doubtful for this, so I think that's unfortunate because they're going to be able to get after him. But I also think with the offensive line that the Texans have, Todd Bowles is known to blitz, and I think he's just going to basically put a bunch of pressure on C.J. Stroud and make him make very quick decisions, which he can. But C.J. Stroud also doesn't have his requisite weapons. He doesn't have the same running attack with Joe Mixon. He has Nico Collins, but he doesn't have the same wide receiving core. If you had Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs from last year, if they had that full offense from last year, maybe I'd feel differently. But Tampa Bay 23-19. Really also liked what I saw from Emeka Egbuka last week.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
It looked good. That Ohio State's trying to say, hey, we're better than LSU when it comes to wide receiver. We're wide receiver you. And LSU's like, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Shut up. Like, just calm down. We got a couple. Brian Thomas Jr. We got a few. And last game of the week, we've got the Chargers going to see the Raiders. The Raiders are 3-point underdogs at home. Kyle, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think this is going to be a fun game. This is a really good slate with the 2 Monday nights. And they don't got them overlapping, I don't think. I think the first one's at 7 and this one's at like 9:30 or something like that.
Yeah, which is weird. Normally it's like one's at 7, one's at 8:15, and you're like, why are we flipping back and forth, guys? Just if we're going to do it, then let's just do it. 2 Monday night games.
Yeah.
Man, I go back and forth. I could see the Raiders winning this game. I think this is going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a good game. I've got 24-21 in my head. It's a matter of who wins it. I'm going back and forth. I'm going to wait for one of y'all to sell me on it.
Damn. All right, Kyle's really trying to make those picks up. I do think it's got a potential to be a good offensive game. It depends if Brock Bowers plays. He hasn't practiced at all. He didn't practice today. It's at this point, it's really not looking like he's going to play. If everything holds true and he doesn't play, I think the Chargers are going to win pretty convincingly. I loved what I saw from them last week, especially if they continue to go towards a more pass-heavy attack with 3 receivers. I think LA wins. I got them winning 28-17.
Man.
But if Bowers plays, then I might give the Raiders a couple more points.
I think the Chargers will be all over it. I think they're trying to prove that they are a contender, and I think they are a contender. So I think this is a game that they just dominate here. Give it to me 30-13. Big win.
You got the Chargers coming off with more rest. I know they had to play in Brazil, but they did play on Friday comparatively to playing on Sunday. They are at home. I'm sorry, they're on the road, but I mean, it's not a distance, sorry, but they're on the road and Vegas. Be difficult there on the road, but I also do think that last week Gino was able to deal, but he didn't have Christian Gonzalez to worry about, and that Patriots defense is still trying to find their ways out with a lot of different pieces from last year's unit. You've got a Chargers team that's pretty buttoned up. I think we see a lot of Amari and Hampton. Hampton's going to have a better game out of the 2 rookie running backs. I've got them 26-19 over the Raiders, which means Kyle's going 24-21 Raiders.
No, I really don't. I still honestly don't know. I'd probably lean Chargers, but
go Chargers.
I think it's going to be a good game. Like, I really do think
go
this is actually,
LA, go LA, go.
I think this is going to be one of the better games of the week, truly. But I'm going to roll Chargers.
Alrighty. So we got a fun slate. This is either going to be one of 3 things, honestly, could happen. Kyle's going to make up a bunch of ground. Kyle's going to lose a bunch of ground. Or it's going to be like a 50-50 split, and like Kyle will get like 3 games he chose, and then we'll have 3 games that we chose, and it's kind of evened out, which most likely will be how it goes, but it'd be funny if it's one or the other. Kyle like catches all the way up in 1 week, or Kyle just says, hey, I'll give the extra 50.
Yeah, right. It's going to be one or the other.
I'll just give the
If you go 7-9 a game, Kyle, it might be rough.
It was ugly.
It might be an 0-2 start. It just might be
was ugly. Last year I started off rough, and then I somehow made up some ground towards the end. Like, I somehow got within striking distance, but I started pretty ugly last year too. I don't know if it was 7-9 ugly. That I do not remember, but it was
7.
ugly.
It was tough, but no, definitely fun. Yeah, this is going to be a very good week of football. I'm excited for it. Got, again, good college games on tomorrow. Multiple, I think there's going to be a few games that are really going to be close, tight. And then we've got Sunday. We've got a great slate of games. And then we've got 2 Monday night games, which you can't help. You can't be. And then
what more could you ask for?
And then, don't worry, guys. The Thursday night game that we can half pay attention to because it's Bills Dolphins, so that's gonna be that we don't
might
have
be
to
the
really worry.
Might be the burn Mike McDaniels on a steak game is what that might be.
Yeah, that game we can kind of just go home and chill. Their favorite Red Bills are right now. Our favorite by 9.5. That line could easily get to 10.5.
So embarrassed. What kind of sicko am I to pick the Miami Dolphins 2 weeks in a row? Like, it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, no, we locked it in.
What am I
locked it in now.
With my life?
Trying to make up ground. You just love Miami, like the area of Miami so much. You're like, let me get the team.
Yeah, it's like, let me get the Dolphins, baby. 305, 305.
They still got Chad Pennington at quarterback. They still got Dan Marino. Give me the Dolphins.
Jason Taylor still on that roster?
Got Zach Thomas over there,
Joy
right?
Taylor still on that roster?
Joy Taylor. Your favorite bird's favorite bird, Joy Taylor.
Joy Taylor.
Oh, shit. Listen, Keenan, let me give you this, though, for the WNBA. Aces to win it all. I like the Aces to win it all.
They're on a 16-game winning streak. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, I was debating on doing a postseason. No, they got waxed by the Lynx by like 50, and since that game, they just said, yeah, Asia went from being way out of the MVP conversation to probably the favorite right now. That conversation between her and Nafisa is a really good one. I've been very much debating on doing a full WNBA season breakdown pod and then talking awards and then going into a playoff one. Like I think I might. I am super excited. It starts on Sunday. I understand it's football Sunday and that's going to be difficult to deal with, but we will be having games WNBA on the side. Ooh, boy.
And you talk about a big sports weekend. We got UFC Noche tomorrow, which is like, it'll be a fun fight weekend featuring Spanish fighters, featuring Mexican fighters.
One of the biggest fights in the last 15, 20 years.
Well, this is UFC. But
I'm saying we have also have one of the biggest
That's the prelude
fights.
to the biggest fight since Pacquiao Mayweather for sure. Crawford Canelo. That's gonna be. It'll be something. You got Crawford moving up 2 weight classes. Canelo finally getting an inspiring fight. I'm very intrigued to see how this could go because it could be ugly for Bud, but it also could be a fantastic fight. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, that'll definitely be something I'll tune into.
College football wise, I mean, you've got Georgia, Tennessee. That's going to be a good game. Maybe Florida can make it a good game with LSU. It's given the stank face, but probably not. Notre Dame and Texas A&M should be a good one as well. USF, if they're a real team, against Miami. So we got some good games on the slate there. And then obviously we just highlighted all of the NFL games that are going to be some fun ones. So this is a great weekend to watch sports. And then if you care about baseball, we're getting down to the nitty gritty in baseball, getting to that playoff push. So it's going to be a great weekend. But Warner Brothas Podcast, Timmy, Branndon, Kyle, and myself here with all of our picks and a little bit more extra at the end. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all Warner Brothas Podcasts. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all of you guys here. And we'll be seeing you guys again very, very soon.